What's going on, everybody? This is MattDoesFitness, and when I found out my toaster wasn't waterproof, I was shocked. Okay, welcome to Throwback Thursday, episode 4, and this is a particularly exciting episode if you are a teenager or you like teenagers. Right, so basically in this video I'm going to talk to you about bodybuilding for teenagers. Now I made this video I think possibly over a year ago, so it's pretty old, so it's got a nice mix of cringeworthy like me just being really awkward because I was still quite new to it at that point, but also, to be fair, pretty decent information. I just kind of watched it back and I think it's worth putting out there again because firstly, I still get asked all the time from kind of younger people, from teenagers, what should I be doing? I mean, the reality is it's not hugely different, but there are certain things that are important to bear in mind. So that's one reason, and also because I just think generally it's a decent video, and I think that a lot of you will find it very beneficial. So sit back, get your slippers on, possibly get a hot water bottle, maybe wear some kind of party hat, that's down to your discretion, and other than that, no more clothes are required, and enjoy. What's going on, guys? This is MattDoesFitness, and today I'm talking about bodybuilding for teenagers. Now, this Q&A is like a big far-reaching one. It is not for one specific person, purely because I've been asked the same question 20 or, I don't know, 30 times on YouTube and on Twitter, okay? People keep saying to me, I'm a teenager, I want to start bodybuilding, what should I do, okay? So this question, this answer is for you guys. Now, going right to the basics, obviously if you are a teenager, if you are 14 or 15 or 16 years old, you need to bear in mind you are still growing naturally, okay? So without doing anything, you are still going to get bigger, you're going to get stronger, and you're going to get more muscular, okay? Unless you're one of those like 12-year-olds that sounds like Barry White and has a full-on beard, okay? Now, so you need to bear that in mind. You don't want to you don't want to interfere with that natural development, all right? If you go too crazy and you lift like a, like a full-on professional, mature power lifter, you are going to damage your growth plates, you're going to stunt your growth, and you will not reach your full potential in terms of your skeleton, all right? So it is that simple. You can't go too crazy. However, a lot of people are going too far the other way. They're saying, oh, you can't touch any weights when you're a teenager. You shouldn't do this, shouldn't do that. That's rubbish, okay? It's scaremongering. There is a lot you can do that's going to kind of benefit your growth and help you out in the long term, and there is no reason why you can't sensibly bodybuild as a teenager. First point I'm going to address is kind of getting the basics right first, right? I see lots of kids, like 14, 15-year-olds, really small little skinny kids, going into the gym and trying to bench press or squat big weights, and it is ridiculous, okay? You need to get a foundation first. Before you try and do a big bench press, you should be able to perform numerous press-ups with perfect form, okay? If you can't do that, you should not be bench pressing under any circumstances. So that applies for all of those big compound lifts. Anything you do, really, you need to get the foundation first. So before you attempt anything heavy, you must have a solid foundation. You want to have had a big period of doing sets of 10 to 12 reps at a reasonable weight, just to get that foundation first. Also, on that topic, you must have perfect form. Obviously, perfect form is crucial across the board, but particularly when you are young and you are still growing, you must emphasize that form. It's so important, okay? So everything you do, you've got to keep your chest out, your shoulders back, those elbows down. You must maintain that perfect form at all times. It is absolutely fundamental. Number 2 is your recovery and your sleep. Again, these things are very much overlooked, particularly by teenagers. You must sleep right. I understand that when you are young, you're going out, you're doing crazy stuff like woo, but you must make sure you are going to bed at a reasonable time, and if not, you are waking up late enough to give you that period of sleep. You want to be getting absolute minimum 7, really 8 or 9 hours sleep every night, okay? If you're not getting enough sleep, you are not going to recover. When you are in deep sleep, your body is doing a lot of its repairing, and your muscle fibers are repairing, you're getting bigger, you're getting stronger. If you don't sleep properly, that process is being stunted, and then therefore your results are going to be much harder to come by. So you must sleep properly. Likewise, you need to recover properly. Lots of kids go crazy and they'll be in the gym every day for hours on end. you are not giving yourself sufficient recovery, and again, you're not going to give your body the time to repair, to restructure, to get stronger, to make those adaptations, and again, you are going to make your progress that much slower. So you must have adequate recovery. It's very, very important, okay? It is very much a case of quality over quantity. Number 3, and this is an area that is kind of differentiated between adults and teenagers, okay, and that is your diet. When you are a teenager, not always, but generally speaking, you tend to have a faster metabolism than you would as an adult or an elderly person. So obviously, because of that, you need to make sure you are eating sufficiently and eating the right stuff sufficiently. If you have a very fast metabolism and you're not eating enough food, you are making it almost impossible for your body to build muscle, okay? I mean, if your body has a deficit, it hasn't got enough calories, why is it going to build muscle? It's obviously going to concentrate on doing more, fundamental things like keeping you alive, right? So you need to make sure you have a slight calorie surplus, maybe just a couple or a few hundred calories a day, so you're getting more than you need to make sure your body can build muscle, okay? But you don't want to be eating loads and loads of crap. I understand when you're young, you are more you have a tendency to eat more rubbish, okay? That isn't a disaster, but you must make sure you're getting the right stuff as well, okay? You've got to eat lots of fruit and vegetables, and you obviously need a lot of protein as well, okay? Make sure you're getting sufficient amount of protein, which as a teenager, you're probably looking at maybe a gram per pound of body weight, okay? A day. So if you weigh 150 pounds, shoot for 150 grams of protein. It's very, very important you get enough food, because you can train as hard as you want. If you don't eat enough, those results are going to be much, much lower, much, much lesser than they would be if you were eating sufficiently. Right, next point is to set goals, but be realistic, okay? Lots of young people, lots of teenagers, they go into the gym with this, I mean, it's good in some respects, they go in with this crazy kind of ambitious mindset, which is good, but you need to rein it in a little bit, okay? So, they go in thinking, right, I'm gonna put on 20 pounds of muscle in the first 6 months. Now, that's not going to happen, okay? You're not an alien, you're not Superman, you're not any kind of superhuman, you can't do that. So you can initially put on more muscle, you can put on a lot of muscle in that initial period. However, it's still not going to be an insane amount, okay? You have to be patient. You've got to look at the long term, okay? So in your first 6 months, just try and get into that routine. Try and, like I said, get the basics, get the fundamentals, get your form right. Just think about the long term, okay? If you go in and you go crazy, then one of two things is going to happen, okay? Either your body's going to break down and you are going to suffer in terms of injuries or motivation or long-term things, or you're not going to reach your goals that you are aiming for, and you're going to get disheartened and you're going to stop going, and it's going to be a waste of time, okay? So make sure you are realistic, okay? You can look for those, but obviously you want to keep getting stronger and you want to keep getting bigger, but be realistic. It's not going to happen overnight, and it's not going to be, preposterously monstrous results that you're getting massive in a couple of months. It will take time. Be patient, and as long as you keep going and you are consistent and you do things sensibly, you will get bigger and you will get stronger. And finally, my last point is to plan, okay? Get some kind of schedule, get some kind of training split. You must know roughly what you are doing, okay? You don't want to go to the extreme and sit down with your friggin' calculator and work out, the hours and the minutes each day, each week you're going to work out. However, you must have some kind of plan. If you go into the gym with no plan whatsoever, no kind of foresight, then inevitably you are going to fail, okay? Something's going to go wrong, you're going to forget what you're doing, you're going to waste your time, so you must have a plan, okay? I would suggest just get a rough guideline. So for example, just say, right, each week I'm going to do maybe back and biceps on Monday, chest, shoulders, triceps on Wednesday, and then legs and abs on Friday, okay? That is a general overall plan. That will be sufficient to make sure you are getting that recovery, you are using your time properly, and you're not gonna, waste your time basically, okay? Any more than that, I mean, you can look at individual exercises you're gonna do, but again, I think what you find is if you say, right, I'm gonna do this machine on this day, this on this day, then if you get to the gym and someone's using it, it kind of throws you off, okay? Especially if you're a bit OCD, it can freak you out and it can mess up your session. So I wouldn't go too stringent in terms of your planning. Just have an overall kind of guideline, an overall thing that you can adhere to make sure you are consistent, and then you can also gauge your progress and see how you're getting on, and it just makes things a lot easier. Woo! Okay, that was a lot of information. Hopefully you liked it, you found it useful. If you did, please like the video, please comment, let me know how things are going, let me know if there's anything I missed out, didn't address that you want me to. Please keep giving me questions I can answer in these Q&As, and please give me good questions. If you ask me what is your favourite colour or do you like baguettes, I'm not going to answer that because that's a waste of my time. I do like baguettes, but that's neither here nor there. Right, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in my next video, which will be sometime in the near future.